Well, welcome to the Top 5, where we do a quick preview of the week ahead and look at 5 things that we should be mindful of. So let's get started. Number 1 will be jobs and wages. There will be updates on both of these in Australia next week. Of the two, the one that's probably going to receive most attention will be an update on jobs that will come out on Thursday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's basically a look at how many jobs were added or lost in the past month, what the unemployment rate is, and a few other bits and pieces as well. So it can have an impact on markets, especially if there's a substantial surprise in these numbers, particularly the Aussie dollar. So that's why forecasts are quite important to look at. As far as what Bloomberg estimates are pointing to, there were 13 economists in Australia that were surveyed, and on average they think that there's going to be an additional 15,000 to 20,000 jobs added over the month of April. CBA economists are a little bit more optimistic, expecting up to 40,000 jobs to have been created, partly because there is still plenty of jobs being advertised in Australia. As far as wages growth is concerned, this is considered to be quite backward looking. It's for the 3 months between January and March, so it obviously only is released on a quarterly basis, so it does receive attention on that front, but it's largely expected to show just a modest improvement in wages once again. Number 2 will be COVID-19 and geopolitical risks as well. Now, over the past fortnight, we've had a few cases popping up of the coronavirus in New South Wales and Victoria, but the good news is that it hasn't really spiraled out of control at all. A spike in cases, having said that, of course, will continue to be a risk in the week ahead. We've already seen the impact that can have on areas of the market like travel stocks, which are generally lower in May so far. On the geopolitical risk front, we've got the current conflict, of course, on the Gaza Strip in the Middle East, continuing to escalate. And as far as markets go, if things worsen substantially there, it's always a negative and can have an impact on things like oil prices. Number 3, updates on China's economy. Now, Monday is going to be the busiest day of the month on that front. There'll be 3 reports of note released, an update on retail spending, an update on factory activity, and also a third on investment. Now, all 3 will be out on Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and all 3, as far as what Bloomberg estimates are pointing to, are likely to show growth of 20% or more compared to a year earlier. And the main reason for this is basically a base effects, which essentially means growth is so strong because it's comparing how things are like today with a year ago, when obviously China's economy was impacted by the pandemic. Number 4 will be dividends. So the big one here will be Macquarie, which trades ex-dividend on Monday for its largest dividend that it's paid out since the early part of 2019, $3.35 per share. So it will become the last of 4 of the big 5 banks to pay out, or rather to trade ex-dividend. So that means that we've got Macquarie, NAB, Westpac and ANZ. They'll all pay eligible investors dividends from the 25th of June to the 2nd of July. And finally, profits, meetings and IPOs. So a bit to get through here, but briefly, we've got a handful of stocks releasing their profit results, including Elders, Incitec Pivot, Webjet and Nufarm. On the AGM front, or the annual general meetings front, this is when companies meet with their investors online at the moment. G8 Education, Eagers Automotive, Adbri and Sydney Airport. And we've got 3 companies set to, at least penciled in, to make their share market debuts in the week ahead. 2 of them are actually companies that have had their dates rescheduled. One is Audera, which is a premium headphone maker. Another is Flynn Gold, which is a gold exploration company with projects in Tasmania and also WA. And the third is Torque Metals, which is a mineral explorer focused on gold. On that note, have a great weekend and week ahead.